What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Patriots Real Time Podcast. I'm your host, Theo Deasnaus, joined alongside Austin Ray. Today, we are doing a training camp preview podcast, and then we have a little Patriots quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and then one defensive player draft to finish this one off. This will be a quick 15 to 20-minute podcast. As you can see, I'm not in the normal setting right now. I'm not in my room. But hopefully the Wi-Fi isn't too bad. But before we get into that, Austin had a very busy day. Austin, how's your day today overall? You can give us the rundown if you want. How was it?
It was a pretty great day today.
It was a
Exciting.
pretty great day.
Some
Sorry.
new stuff. New stuff.
Yeah, new stuff. Yes. If you don't mind me asking, Austin, what's your favorite candy?
I'd have to say Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh, okay. Anyways, let's get into the Patriots talk. We did the top 3 things to watch at training camp. Austin, I know you had a very busy day, so you might not have the most prepared notes, but I'll let you go first because I'm a nice guy.
Are we doing 3 things or 3 people?
I said 3 things in my text, actually, and you said, okay.
You said not just 3 people, but 3 things as well. So I'll do both, okay? Cause my
All
three,
right, whoopsie dude.
cause my 3 things relate to these 3 people. So my first person to keep a note out for is Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
So
Why?
I said, in particular, Stephon Diggs, his route running, as we've seen, he's coming back from his ACL injury. He's looking really good. He's able to move, cut. So I think that that's something we have to keep notice of, the way he's able to move and keep moving and progressing throughout the offseason.
Yep, that's a good one. I didn't even think to that. Zach, I don't even know what Zach is doing right now, but he's looking at me. But yeah, that's a good point. Diggs obviously coming off the ACL, like you said. You definitely need to see how he does. Will he even be out there? Will he be participating fully? Will he be wearing the red jersey? We don't know. He wasn't wearing the red jersey at all during OTAs or minicamp, but will he have it on? I'll go into my first one. Another wide receiver. This is UDFA Efton Chisholm. But first, before we do that, I am wearing an Efton Chisholm shirt right now. I'm not going to turn around, but I was walking today, and this guy's like, go Pats, and I was like, how do you know I'm a Patriots fan? And I didn't realize I was wearing this shirt. But anyways, Efton Chisholm, right? This is the guy who's been praised by not only Adam Schefter in his most recent article about, I don't know if his most recent article, but one of his most recent articles about who won OTAs. Not only by Adam Schefter, not only by Drake May, but also by Mike Vrabel. It's rare that you see UDFAs getting praised by coaches, by the starting quarterback this early. You know, Del Pettis was obviously praised a lot last year by Gerard Mayo. He ended up making the team.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Efton Chisholm continues on this path, being a very reliable receiver, he can make this team. You look at Josh McDaniels' offenses for the last however many years. They've always had that one guy, Josh's Binky, as they like to call it. Whether that was Wes Welker in 2007 or Julian Edelman for those however many years, and then that turned into Jacoby Myers, right? That is what Efton Chisholm can be. If we look at the stats, 120 receptions, 1,311 yards, and 13 touchdowns last year at Eastern Washington. This is a guy that I think can make the roster.
Yeah, no, that's something that I didn't even really think about. That is the way you put it. It makes it sound really exciting. You feel like that this guy has a very serious chance of becoming someone that we see in our offense daily, every day, as sort of like you said, the Julian Edelman type thing, and Drake May needs someone like that. Drake May needs someone where he's able to, just get the ball to consistently. It's able to run downfield other than just a tight end or running back. So I think that could be something really big moving into the future.
Yep. Awesome. What was your number 2?
So sort of piggybacking off that, I took a look at the tight ends, and I looked at, in particular, Hunter Henry, how we saw he was such a key part of the offense last season, as like the safety blanket for both Jacoby Myers and Drake May, able to extend those small plays into big yards. I was sort of wondering if we think we're going to see him back in that position, or not position, but back in that same sort of like
Roll.
yeah, exactly. Same type of role as we did last season, as like sort of like the Gronk to Drake May's Tom Brady. So I'm just wondering do you think we're gonna see that again?
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty similar. Hunter Henry definitely had a career resurge. No, he didn't have that. I think he definitely had a bounce back season last year. The 2023 season wasn't great for him, at least the start of it. But last year had a very good season. Like you said, he was the Jacoby Brissett and Drake May safety blanket. You did say Jacoby Myers, but that's okay.
Oh.
You meant Jacoby Brissett. Yes. Okay. Jacoby Myers did throw some passes back in the day. But yeah. So yes, I think that Hunter Henry will be that safety blanket, but I think that May won't. Hopefully, I think May won't solely have to rely on him.
Yeah.
Also, Austin Hooper was pretty good at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. Staying on the offensive side of the ball. Yep. Nope. Never mind. Well, yes, we are staying on the offensive side of the ball, but it's not the one that I wanted. Who's the odd man out at receiver? Keeping it with the receiving position, we're still on like the receiving tight end track. Who's the odd man out? Is it Kayshon Boutte or Kendrick Bourne? Or Afton Chisholm? Is he going to get cut? Austin, who do you think's more likely to go? Kayshon Boutte or Kendrick Bourne?
I think that we're gonna see Kendrick Bourne going.
Yes, and I don't
I
think they'll cut him. I think they'll trade him. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because Kendrick Bourne, he's got not Kendrick Bourne, Kayshon Boutte. He had it like he was one of our top receivers last season. I mean, it's not really what we expected, but he had a good season last season, and I think that the Patriots can shape him into a good wide receiver, and that he's a solid candidate for a top one of the top three receivers on this team, and if he continues to grow like we saw him last season, then I feel like he's got a good chance. And like you said with Efton Chisholm, I just don't think that they're gonna cut a guy like that, especially between Vrabel and McDaniels. I just think that that's the guy they're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you talked about Kayshon Boutte. That's the only outside receiver that we've seen prove it on this team. A guy that's a true deep ball threat. Yeah, deep ball threat. For Drake May, right? You have Mac Hollins, but he's more of a big-bodied, contested catch guy, similar to what we thought Devontae Parker could be in 22 and 23. And then he's also more of a special teamer. Diggs is more of a slot / hybrid receiver now in his career. So you don't really have that long, deep threat besides, I guess, Kyle Williams. But wow, I forgot about Kyle Williams. But that's my guy too. But Kyle Williams, he's your other deep threat. But he hasn't done it in the NFL. Kayshon Boutte went for 500 yards last season. So and was your second receiver behind Hunter Henry and maybe Demario Douglas. So that's three, but whatever. Yeah. So Kayshon Boutte has NFL experience being that true outside receiver. And then for Bourne, this is a guy who's 29 years old, coming off a torn ACL 2 years ago, had one of his worst seasons last year. And people like to point to the fact that he had his best season of his career with Josh McDaniels in 2021. But that was also that was also 4 seasons ago. Tom Brady was still in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers was the NFL MVP for the Green Bay Packers. That was 4 seasons ago. That doesn't really, yes, he's a good scheme fit, but now you have a bunch of other receivers that can do it, and Kendrick Bourne doesn't have to be your wide receiver 1 or 2 or 3, however you want to stack that Myers, Aguilar, Bourne, whatever you call it, room. But, yeah, now Bourne is going to slide on the depth chart. I don't really see a role for him. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think he gets traded. I'm going to go with my number 3. Also on the offensive side of the ball, it's the running back room. I think this room can be very interesting because you have guys like Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson who are locks. But then you have 2 receiving threats, and Travion Henderson is also a receiving threat. But you have 2 other receiving threats in Antonio Gibson and UC Davis's Lan Larison. Larison, honestly, his stats were very, very impressive, not only as a running back, but also as a receiver. I'll read them to you right now. As a receiver, he caught 62 balls last season for 847 yards and 6 touchdowns. This is a running back. And on the ground, he had 284 carries, 1,465 yards, 5.2 yards per carry, and 17 touchdowns last season. So that is, how many touchdowns is that? 17 plus 6. Austin, you are good at math, not me.
23.
Yes, I knew that. Michael Jordan. That is 20, or Kyle Duggar, that's relevant. 23 touchdowns, total touchdowns last season. Obviously, he's playing for UC Davis, but in an interview with his head coach on Phil Perry's Next Pats podcast, he talks about the head coach, UC Davis's head coach, talks about how Larison was trying to get out on the field during special teams, during punts, during kickoffs when the team was up big because they had Land Larison. They didn't really face much great competition last year, many great teams because they were UC Davis, but still pretty impressive from Larison. So if you had to pick, I'd still pick Antonio Gibson over Larison because we haven't seen him in the NFL. And Gibson last season rushed for about 500 yards. The receiving stats for Gibson are not on my paper, so I don't know. But I do know he was pretty relevant. We'll see how Larison goes, and that's why I think it's an interesting thing to look at. And also, my guy, Terrell Jennings, Austin, we both got his autograph last season. He's the hardest runner I've ever seen in my life. He got called up for a few games, didn't really produce, didn't really do well in the preseason, which is why he didn't make the team. He had a good training camp. But what are your thoughts on the running back room right now?
So, based off what you said, I'm finding it hard to go with Antonio Gibson.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm thinking
You
it
know,
because he's had NFL production and Larison hasn't. But yes, the
yeah,
upside is there for
yeah,
Larison.
no, 100%. But I feel like Antonio Gibson, he's older now. I think he's in his 30s at this point, and he's been a solid running back throughout his NFL career. But I feel like I feel like Vrabel's looking for a young team, and I think he's looking to sort of reshape New England football in a way. I think in doing so, he's gonna have to get start from the base bottom. Even though Langston didn't really have that competition that at UC Davis, I think that him wanting to go out in special teams and all that stuff shows his grit and his determination to become a better football player. And I think that whatever the choice is really going to come down to what they see at training camps and maybe preseason. And I think that I think it's actually going to be a really close battle between the two of them in particular.
Mm-hmm. And both of them could make the team as well. You could carry four running
Yeah.
backs.
Yeah.
All four of your guys have receiving threats. Ramondre is a good receiving back. Gibson, like we said, Larison, like I said, and Travion Henderson is another he's probably your best receiver, or receiving threat. Um, Austin, what was your number three to wrap this up before we get into the draft?
So my number third is on the other side of the ball. My number three is on the other side of the ball. It's on defense. This one is, I don't think that this even came across your mind, and I was trying to really look for something, little nitpicky, something a little different. My thing is Jabril Peppers.
Mm-hmm.
How's he gonna come back? Struggled
Oh.
last season after he had the whole case, and he missed a lot of the season last year. And I think that he's gonna either come back really strong or really poor or not be on the team anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Peppers. That's actually I did not think of that. I think Peppers is due for a bounce back, but he didn't really have that good season until 2023 with the Patriots.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe the 2023 season was a one-off, and the rest of the seasons were what he is. But also, I'm not really 100% sure if he was too bad. I think to be in the league this long, he had to be at least average. But 2023, I think he had a Pro Bowl caliber season. So in 2025, is he going to be like he was the rest of the career, like you said? Is he going to be worse, right? Dealing with the allegations, which are now over, I think, right? Um,
To my knowledge.
or is he going to be back to the 2023 version of himself? So yeah, that's a good one. Also, Kyle Duggar, right? Another guy that really struggled
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Who's going to emerge is our guy Del Pettis might not be safe with Craig Woodson on this team, the fourth round draft pick. But we're praying. And Marcus Epps, you brought in Marcus. A lot of safety. Safety's very interesting. But anyways, let's get into this draft. So we're going to be drafting one quarterback. How many running backs do you want to draft? Two or one?
It's up to you.
Let's do two running backs. Two running backs, two receivers, one tight end, and one defensive player. Austin, I'm giving you the first pick. Who will you take?
So I'm gonna go with I don't know if you know this guy, but it's sort of like a sleeper pick. His name's Tom Brady.
Yes. I do know that guy. I mean, no, I don't know that guy. Actually.
Yeah, it's sleeper pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there goes Tom Brady. And it's going to be a snake draft, so Austin doesn't win unfairly. So I'm going to go next. Easiest two picks here for me. I told Austin my strategy. I'm going with the first round pick of the second pick of the first round. I'm going with Randy Moss. And then with the first pick of the second round, I'm going with Rob Gronkowski. So now I have my tight end and a receiver. All right, Austin, where you go from here?
All right, so
You have two
I
picks.
am going. So do I have to pick like in order of positions?
No,
All right, so I am go. Wait, so did you say two running backs, two receivers?
one tight end, one defense is what you have left.
Okay. So I'm gonna pick Wes Welker as one
hmm
of my receivers.
Wow. Okay. Over Edelman.
Mm-hmm. I know.
hmm
Yes. Yes. Wes Welker. And for my running back pick, I didn't think I haven't thought this far into my draft. My running back pick, I'm gonna go with the man, the myth, the legend, LeGarrette Blunt.
Okay. Okay. So that's good. Those are good. I like. I don't know about the Wes Welker over Julian Edelman because now you just let me get Julian Edelman. So that's my next pick. But anyways, I have Julian Edelman. But Wes Welker, very productive receiver, very very good. Gillette Nation will tell you that Wes Welker is the greatest receiver of all time, as he did say he was better than Calvin Johnson. Um, but yeah, so that's a very good pick. And then LeGarrette Blunt, right? The Patriots haven't had great running backs, but I'm gonna take a guy at my running back position. So I took Edelman. And then with my next pick, I will be taking Curtis Martin, the running back. Went to the Jets 2 or 3 years into his Patriots career, I guess, or I guess it was done. But and he followed Parcells after Parcells went to the Jets. Curtis Martin is one of the greatest running backs of all time. So there's
Mm-hmm.
my one running back. Now, Austin, you have two picks. What do you wait? Let's go over our team so far. You have Brady, Blunt, Welker,
Yep.
and I have no quarterback. That's great. I have um, I have Curtis Martin, Edelman, Moss, and Gronk. Okay, you got two
Yes.
picks.
So when we're drafting players, are we drafting them just based off their Patriots career or no?
Um, I think
No?
so.
Okay.
I think
No, we won't. Okay,
no.
good.
Okay,
We
no.
won't. My second wide receiver will be Antonio Brown.
Okay. No.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
Curtis Martin had a good 3 seasons with the Patriots.
I mean, but his main his main thing was the Jets. I mean, you can't really call him a Patriot.
Well, except for like, yeah, you can't. But I'm going off his Patriots career, which was 3 years versus Antonio Brown's one game. I guess he has a touchdown. You want to go 2019 Antonio Brown over like a few guys? I guess you can go with that. I like that. That's gonna go well in the Instagram graphic.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, all right, let me think this through because I was seriously choosing Antonio Brown, but now that I understand it, I'm not going to go with Antonio Brown anymore. So, for my defensive player, I'm going to go with Dante Hightower.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
So he passes up on like 7 Hall of Famers for the
I
most
love
clutch
Dante
player in
Hightower.
NFL history.
I love Dante Hightower with all my heart. Dante Hightower is one of my top 3 Patriots of all time.
Yeah. So actually, we had a little bit of a blunder on my. I gave my top like 10 best defensive players, and I forgot Hightower. And anyways, it was bad. But okay. I think you have another pick, right?
I do have
Yes.
another pick. That's true.
hmm
So with I'm gonna go for my second running back pick here. I'm gonna go with Sweet Feet.
Yes, that's a great. I knew you were gonna take him.
Yep,
I
love him.
like that pick for you. Yeah.
Solid player. Good seasons for the Patriots. I love him.
Mhm. All right. So what positions do I need? I need another running back and a quarterback and a defensive player, and you need another wide
Wide
receiver.
receiver and a tight end.
Oh yes, tight end. I will help you with tight end. I'll give you the player because I feel like I don't know. All right. So you have your defense, and I just need. So okay, I'm gonna go. Who's my first? Okay, I'm gonna go with Corey Dillon for my second running back,
Okay.
and then for my defensive player, I'm gonna go with Ty Law.
Okay.
And Austin's
Okay.
looking up Patriots tight ends,
No.
and he's gonna go with.
Give me a
Wait, wait,
second.
wait. Hold on. I'm gonna say it to the camera. No, you can't really see me, but I'm gonna say it starts with the initials are BC. That's my guess for Austin. That's who the right pick would be.
BC.
I I hope he doesn't go HH.
I was really thinking of going HH. Um,
Go BC
BC.
or or RF. Go RF. That could work too. Look up Patriots all-time tight ends.
I have that. I have that up.
You don't have a BC?
I don't have a BC.
Who's coming up?
Everyone but BC. I have a bunch of CBs.
Who's coming up?
Hold up. Hold up. I'm really struggling with the tight ends, man.
Yeah, I knew.
Oh, I have mine.
Is it BC?
I'm gonna go with, this is a really tough decision. I'm gonna go with Ben Coates as my tight end.
He did it. He did the right pick.
So now for one more wide receiver, that's what I'm looking for here. I'm gonna go with sleeper pick, Danny Amendola.
Yes, I like that pick. And for my quarterback, who am I going to go with? I thought about this for about 7 days straight since genuinely I didn't know where to go. Um, at first, my mind went to Matt Castle, and I know you're like, what? But Matt Castle went 11-5 with the 2017, and I believe that my team with the 2018, and I believe that my team is better than the 2018. My next thought was, am I going to go with Drew Bledsoe? And the thought was, no, Drew Bledsoe wasn't good. But also, he took him to the Super Bowl. And then my mind ventured away. And it was like, wait a minute. What if I go Jimmy Garoppolo? A guy that took the 49ers to the Super Bowl. And my roster's better, but can he win the Super Bowl? And I was like, should I go with Drake May? And then last night, I was like, you know what? I'm settling on Bledsoe. But you know what? I'm not settling on Bledsoe. Oh boy, this is a tough decision for me. I don't know. I've been thinking about this for so long. I don't want to overthink it and not go Bledsoe. But I feel like Castle would be a good pick, but then also I don't know if he would be. And like this is very stressful. Um and Jimmy Garoppolo just can't, but is it Drake May though? I don't know. I don't think it's Mac Jones. But also it could work. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and take Drew Bledsoe as my quarterback. Play it safe. 1996 Drew Bledsoe will get us to the Super Bowl here. Also, Steve Grogan could have been in that conversation. But yeah, so I'll tell you my team. Austin will tell you his team real quick. So I'll go first. I got Drew Bledsoe at quarterback. My running backs are going to be Curtis Martin. Austin's remembering his team. My running backs are going to be Curtis Martin and Corey Dillon. My wide receivers, best wide receiver core in the league, Randy Moss and Julian Edelman. My tight end, Roberto Gronkowski. And my defensive player is Ty Law. Austin, your quarterback is...
My quarterback is Thomas Brady. My two running
Yes.
backs are LeGarrette Blunt and Sweet Feet. And
Correct.
my wide receivers are Danny Amendola and Wes Welker. And my tight end is Ben Coates, and my defensive player is Dante Hightower.
All right, so I'll make an Instagram graphic probably tomorrow because it is 9:07, and that's late for me. With these two rosters, and yeah,
Go
so
vote! Go vote for whose is better.
yes, I'll put it on my Patriots 3 story so we actually get engagement. But yeah, so follow me on Patriots 3. Follow Austin on Austin Ray because he has a good Instagram account. He posts aesthetic stories on Instagram and aesthetic posts. But yeah, you can check out his latest trip to LA. Anyways, we'll be back with more podcasts during training camp. Hopefully, this was very fun. I think Austin, did you have fun?
I had
Yeah,
a
we
lot
went
of
a
fun
little
with
bit
this.
over. What'd you say?
My mom's not gonna be happy with this, but it's okay. We went a little bit too far.
That's okay. Shout
She
out
wants to
Austin.
watch TV, our TV show.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll be back with more at training camp. Me and Austin will be at training camp 5 times this year, probably around there.
Hopefully.
In-season practice,
Yeah.
August 1st. I mean, not in-season practice. What the heck? Season ticket holder practice. August 1st in the stadium. Hopefully we'll be there. I think we will. It's at
Yeah.
5:30 p.m. But anyways, we'll be back with more. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.
Thank you.